Let's have a conversation about death. I know this is for adults, this is for parents, just to help you have a family conversation with your kids. If you're a child watching this, go grab your mum or dad or auntie or uncle to come and sit with you and hold you while you listen. And maybe parents listen to this first before your kids. It's really, really awkward. But I think in the face of this tricky world pandemic, I think we need to have a chat about what it's like to face death. Now, as a mum, I don't like having a conversation about death with my kids. It's not nice. And we get a bit teary because we don't want to ever be separated from each other, and I get that. I thought about it a lot over the last few years because my mum actually died of cancer 2 years ago very quickly. She got diagnosed and then was gone to be with Jesus in 3 months. So it was really a really tough 3 months for us. But I just want to show you a book that my sister actually was recommended. This book has really been a help to me, and I just wanted to give you a couple of ideas to be able to have a chat with your family about death, because it's a reality. And I think, to be honest, I think one of the panicky things about this season of time in the world's history is that usually we can ignore death. Usually we can pretend it's not there and that it's not going to happen to us. But at the moment, I think we're all a bit nervous that it could happen to us or happen to someone that we love. And we don't want to think about it. And so we push it away. But while we're pushing it away, it elevates our panic levels. And we just want to try and hoard things because that's what we can control. Because we can't control whether we get sick or not. And we can't control whether we actually die or not. And that's a tough reality. I just want to share one thing. 2 years ago, when my mum was dying, she knew she was dying, we knew she was dying, and she embraced it. She loves Jesus and has been a Christian all of her life. And she knew that this was just her time, and that God was calling her home. And it was much sooner than we thought she was going to go. But we were so encouraged by her attitude. And because she was open about it, we could actually talk with her about it. And I just want to read a little bit of this book. It's actually a series of sermons from famous Christians about death. This one is by chapter 3 by John Piper, and he actually said these words: the triumph of the Christian over death is the calm and confident prayer, Jesus, receive my spirit. That's what Christians can say. It is as though you are dying in a small cabin in the woods. The door is death, and you are moving toward it inch by inch. As it opens, there is a huge, ravenous wolf with bared fangs and furious eyes. At first, you are terrified. But then, the Holy Spirit opens your eyes, and behind the wolf, you see Jesus shining like the sun. He is standing with his arm extended to you, and his face smiling. And hanging tight in his other hand, there is a brass chain that leads to an iron collar on the wolf's neck. You hesitate for a moment, but then the Spirit gives you strength, and as you put your foot on the threshold of the door, and the mouth of the wolf opens, Jesus flings him with a mighty jerk clear out of sight, and you enter into the presence of the Lord of glory. So death is not just a window to see Jesus, it's actually a doorway to be with him forever. And my mum embraced that. In fact, I read this to her about 2 years ago in April 2018, and after I read that passage, she said, wow, mate, powerful. She said, oh wow, powerful. She couldn't speak very much, but those are the words she said. Yes, it's a powerful picture of death. Death is not the end. As a Christian, we can look forward to being with Jesus forever. Now, if you know Jesus, that's a real comfort. If you don't, maybe check it out on BibleGateway.com. You can just Google Bible Gateway and check out what Jesus says about death. But I just want to start the conversation. Death is a reality. We're going to face it one way or another. Maybe someone that you love will die in these next few weeks and months. And that's devastating. We don't want them to die. But it's a sad reality of the world that we live in. And maybe you could have a conversation. Maybe say, hey kids, have you thought about death much lately? And they might go, yeah, and then ask you all these questions, and that's a great way to start a family conversation. Or they might go, no, and you go, that's okay. If you ever have a thing, if it ever bothers you, just come and let me know and we can have a chat about it. All right? I'll touch base again in a little while.